Before the first sound emerged from the void, a blueprint existed, and Thoth decoded it. You've spent your whole life trying to fit into boxes that were never meant for you, trying to be everything, successful and spiritual, ambitious and compassionate, driven and at peace. And it exhausts you because you're fighting against something fundamental. You're fighting against your own code. Most people live their entire existence in the wrong role. They climb the ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. They build careers that drain them. They stay in relationships that suffocate them. They chase dreams that belong to someone else. But there's a reason. The modern world, with its algorithms, its endless roles, its pressure to be everything to everyone, has disconnected you from something essential. Your true frequency, your natural field of power. Thoth understood this 3,000 years ago. While the Egyptian priests slept, Thoth was mapping something no one else could see, the numerical language that governs human incarnation. Every person, he discovered, carries a vibration, a code, a cosmic signature written into the very fabric of when you were born. Thoth spent decades unlocking this language, testing it, validating it, and what he found was revolutionary. He discovered that this vibration doesn't cage you, it liberates you. It shows you exactly where your energy flows naturally, where what looks like struggle to others feels like dance to you. But Thoth didn't share this with the masses. He understood power too well. He knew that a population awakening to its true nature would be impossible to control. So he encrypted it, hid it in the Hermetic Tablets, waited millennia for the moment when humanity was suffocating under false identities, drowning in noise and confusion about who they really are. That moment is now, and you're here. There are exactly 10 archetypal codes. Each one serves a specific function. The 0 is the transformer, the one who walks through fire and emerges refined. The 1 is the initiator, opening paths no one has walked. The 2 is the harmonizer, creating peace while remaining whole. The 3 is the transmitter, making the invisible visible. The 4 is the architect, building what lasts. The 5 is the explorer, finding what's hidden. The 6 is the caregiver, offering genuine sanctuary. The 7 is the seeker, seeing patterns others miss. The 8 is the manifester, bringing visions into reality at scale. The 9 is the sage, completing cycles with wisdom earned through lifetimes. While you've been forcing yourself into shapes you don't fit, there are people living their essence effortlessly, winning, creating, influencing, not because they're special, but because they're aligned with their code. And here's what Thoth knew. You have a code too. When you discover it, your life stops being a struggle, stops being guilt, stops being that constant exhaustion of swimming upstream, and becomes flow, becomes alignment, becomes what you always sensed was possible. But there's a price. Once you see the truth Thoth guarded for thousands of years, you can't unsee it. You become responsible for honoring your own blueprint, and if you don't, you live the same patterns. The same relationships that fail the same way. The same career derailments, the same frustration repeating endlessly. Because you're fighting against the current of your own nature. But the one who honors their code, that person transforms continuously, learns, grows, contributes, actually lives, because they're finally aligned with what they actually are. Take the last digit of your birth year. Born in 1994, that's a 4. 1987, that's a 7. 2003, that's a 3. 1956, that's a 6. That number is you. That vibration is your code. In the next minutes, you'll discover exactly what it means, your core essence, the trap you fall into repeatedly, and how the next 7 days can change everything. 0, the void that creates breathe. Recognize your number. Let it resonate. Essence, to be remade better with each cycle. These souls move through transformations that would shatter others. They lose jobs and find better ones. Exit relationships and discover evolved versions of themselves. See beauty in collapse, create light in ash. For the 0 endings aren't failures, they're passages. Destruction isn't loss, it's opening. While the world panics, the 0 adapts. It's as if they have a circuit that converts chaos into opportunity. Every death-rebirth cycle refines them like gold in fire. More wisdom, more compassion, more depth. These people often become guides through transformation. Others seek them in crisis because the zero has already been through it all. Already been fired, already been left, already lost everything. And they're still here, still standing, still growing. It's like they understand something the rest of us forgot. Emptiness is fertile. The void is pregnant with possibility. Shadow, mistaking detachment for indifference, changing to escape rather than evolve. When the zero gets stuck here, they become untethered wind, moving for movement's sake, not growth, leaving relationships without learning, switching careers without integrating lessons, repeating the same abandonment pattern with new people. The shadow zero is destruction masquerading as transformation. It's abandonment dressed up as freedom. Practice 7 days. Consciously release one thing daily. Something physical you don't use. An expectation about someone that hurts you. A fear you've carried for years. A belief that no longer serves. But do it intentionally. Look at what you're releasing. Thank it for what it taught you. Ask the universe for permission to let go. Then release it with gratitude, not anger. After 7 days, 7 layers dissolved. You'll understand that emptiness isn't lack. It's fertility. It's the space where the new can arrive. 1. The spark that ignites. Breathe. Recognize your number. Let it resonate. Essence. To initiate and inspire through presence. These souls open pathways where none existed. They have courage others don't possess. When they see a mountain, they don't think about climbing it. They think about which trail to build so others can climb it too. The one is a creator, a pioneer. They have a gift nobody else has. They make people believe in possibility. They lead naturally because there's something different in their energy. A spark. And it's contagious. When the one enters a room, the energy shifts. When they enter a stagnant project, suddenly people believe success is possible. These people become entrepreneurs, mentors, visionaries, not always by choice but because they can't help it. Vision emerges from them like water from a spring. When the one truly understands their nature, they stop needing to prove and simply radiate. Their influence multiplies silently, like seeds planted that you never see sprout, but the harvest arrives anyway. Shadow, proving your worth through endless achievement, believing you're only valuable if constantly producing. When the one gets stuck here, they burn. Project after project, achievement after achievement, but never rest, never appreciate, always needing more. The shadow one is compulsion disguised as ambition. It's the workaholic measuring their life by productivity. Even when they've won everything, something whispers that it's not enough. Practice 7 days. Lead by invitation. Ask for one collaboration daily. Don't impose. Don't force. Genuinely invite. Let others choose whether to participate. Because when you lead this way, you create space for others to lead too. You teach through example that contribution doesn't require coercion. You discover that your greatest leadership isn't in what you do, it's in who you inspire others to become. 2. The weaver of harmony. Breathe. Recognize your number. Let it resonate. Essence. To create peace while remaining whole. These souls instinctively understand what's missing in a relationship. They feel what's unsaid. They perceive the unspoken currents. If the one opens the path, the two transforms that path into a safe road everyone can walk. The two has a capacity few possess. They can be with someone and make that person feel completely seen. It's not technique, it's presence. When the two enters a tense space, the tension dissolves. When they enter a failing relationship, it begins to heal. Naturally. Because the two was created to harmonize without erasing authenticity. These people often become therapists, mediators, emotional anchors, because they know how to be with someone in their worst moment. They know exactly what to say. They know when to stay close and when to create distance. When the two understands their nature, they stop sacrificing and start serving in ways that sustain them. They offer comfort without erasing themselves. Shadow. Emptying yourself to fill others. Saying yes when you mean no. Carrying the world's weight. Believing you're only worthy if exhausted. When the two get stuck here, they burn. They want to save everyone. Fix every relationship. Be the emotional foundation for everyone around them. The shadow, too, is servitude disguised as love. It's self-abandonment wrapped in compassion. Practice, 7 days. Say no twice daily with consciousness. Not to harm, to protect, to establish loving boundaries. Small no's, not today. That's not my responsibility. I need to protect my energy. Because when you learn to say no with tenderness, you teach the world how to treat you. You model that boundaries are healthy. That care flows in both directions. 3. The translator of the invisible breathe. Recognize your number. Let it resonate. Essence, to make visible what the soul knows but can't express. These are voices that paint, ideas that dance, gestures that sing. They have a power that transforms reality. They give form to the formless. An idea nobody could grasp. The 3 translates into art, word, gesture. Suddenly everyone understands. Everyone feels. Because the 3 was built to be a bridge between what is and what could be. They feel the world as symphony. Each situation has a song, each person has a color, each emotion has texture. These people become artists, communicators, creators, not by choice, but because they must. The 3 with a song inside must sing or explode. When the 3 matures, they understand that creating isn't caprice. It's answering a call. It's obedience to mystery. Shadow, hiding your darkness behind the shine, creating only when there's an audience, turning joy into performance, seeking applause instead of meaning. When the 3 gets trapped here, they create only if someone's watching, only if there are likes. They stop creating when no one's listening. The shadow 3 is narcissistic creation. It's needing external validation to feel alive. Practice, 7 days. Create 15 minutes daily without posting, sharing, or telling anyone. Just create. Music, writing, dance, drawing, poetry, whatever calls. Close the door. Silence the phone. Just you and the act of creating. Because when you create purely for creation's sake, you discover why the ancients called art a prayer. You stop creating to be seen and start creating because you cannot not create. Sas 4. The architect of what endures, breathe. Recognize your number. Let it resonate. Essence. To build realities that last. These souls transform effort into prayer. They construct worlds. They build projects. They construct consciousness itself. A relationship the 4 cultivates lasts decades. A project the 4 leads gets finished. A routine the 4 establishes transforms lives. The 4 understands something fundamental. Greatness is built from consistent small steps, not heroic leaps. It's as if they have a circuit that converts discipline into magic. Where others see slowness, the 4 sees foundation. Where others see repetition, the 4 sees construction. These people become leaders, masters, legacy builders, because they know that everything that lasts is built with patience. When the 4 truly understands their nature, they stop judging themselves for not being fast and start appreciating the solidity they create. Because the 4 knows what the world forgot. What's strongest takes time to build. It's stone being carved drop by drop until it becomes a monument. Shadow, confusing worth with effort, becoming so rigid you shatter, believing you're only valuable if exhausted. When the 4 get stuck here, they become wall instead of pillar. They resist until breaking point, because they believe brutal force is value, that suffering is nobility. The shadow 4 is rigidity disguised as strength. It's martyrdom confused with responsibility. Practice, 7 days. Establish a 10-minute daily ritual. Meditation, yoga, contemplative walking, conscious breathing, anything consistent. Without skipping, without excuses. Just do it. Because consistency at small scale transforms everything. The specific area of your life you're training, discipline, presence, constancy, starts radiating into all other areas. 5. The discoverer of hidden paths, breathe. Recognize your number. Let it resonate. Essence, to explore and adapt. These souls learn through doing, not theory. Their energy is restless, curious, alive. When the 5 finds purpose in movement, they transform chaos into expansion, restlessness into wisdom. Put a 5 in an impossible situation, and they find 3 solutions nobody else could see, because the 5 doesn't see limitation, sees possibility. It's like they have an internal compass pointing toward the unexplored. While the world follows the map, the 5 discovers new territory. These people become explorers, innovators, researchers, because they need to discover. The 5 with a question inside can't rest until they answer it. When the 5 understands their nature, they stop feeling guilty about wanting freedom and start pursuing it consciously. Shadow, mistaking freedom for escape, jumping from opportunity to opportunity without deepening any. When the 5 gets stuck here, they become a nomad without destination, collecting experiences but integrating none, living on the surface of everything, starting intense relationships, then disappearing when reality sets in, changing careers when things get difficult. The Shadow 5 is dispersion masquerading as exploration, its escape dressed as freedom. Practice 7 days, 1 new experience daily plus 1 learning captured, 1 sentence. Do something you've never done, then write 1 sentence about what you learned. 7 days, 7 discoveries, 7 integrated truths. You expand without scattering. You don't just live, you digest what you live. The 4 and 5 dance a fundamental dance. If the 4 builds the temple, the 5 opens the windows. When they conflict, life gets stuck between rigidity and chaos. When they dance together, they create the universe, structure that breathes, freedom with foundation. 6. The guardian of the heart. Breathe. Recognize your number. Let it resonate. Essence. To love without disappearing. These souls find meaning in receiving others, protecting them, supporting them. They're gardeners of life. When the 6 enters a space, people relax. They know they'll be seen. They'll be cared for. The 6 has an ability that transforms lives. They see potential in people who've lost themselves. They offer embrace in moments of pain. They create safe space where others can finally breathe. Because the 6 was built to love in ways that make people feel worthy. These people become parents, therapists, mentors, guardians, because they know how to be with someone. When the 6 truly understands their nature, they stop sacrificing and start loving in ways that sustain them. Because the 6 discovers something sacred, a nourished heart feeds better than an empty one. Shadow, carrying the world's weight, believing you're worthy only if exhausted, confusing care with obsession. When the 6 get stuck here, they burn. They want to save everyone, fix everything, be the pillar for everyone. The Shadow 6 is sacrifice disguised as love. It's self-erasure wrapped in compassion. Practice 7 days, 20 minutes daily of genuine self-care, a long bath where you just feel, hand massage, tea in silence where you do nothing, a solitary walk without headphones. Because when you honor your own center regularly, you teach the world how to care for you. You model self-love. 7. The seer of hidden patterns. Breathe. Recognize your number. Let it resonate. Essence. To seek truth and share it. These souls carry wisdom's gift, but also isolation's risk. These are questioners before believers, doubters before acceptors. They seek the why, the purpose, the hidden meaning. The 7 sees patterns nobody else sees, connects dots that seemed disconnected, explains the invisible so it makes sense. Because the 7 was built to be a translator between dimensions, between visible and invisible. These people become researchers, philosophers, spiritual teachers, because they need to understand. The 7 with a question inside can't rest until answered. When the 7 truly understands their nature, they learn that knowledge stored away weighs heavy, that truth discovers its power only when shared. Shadow, isolating in the search, accumulating knowledge without sharing it, becoming so contemplative you forget to live. When the 7 get stuck here, they become a hermit, disconnected from the world that needs them, a philosopher who thinks but never acts, a student who studies but never teaches. The Shadow 7 is knowledge without service, its wisdom guarded instead of circulated. Practice 7 days. Share 1 insight daily. Comment, message, conversation, note. Communicate something you learned, a truth you discovered. Because when you vocalize, you complete the circle. Truth discovers its power only when it circulates. The 6 and 7 dance in sacred contrast. If the 6 tends the outer world, the 7 tends the inner world. When they work together, The human becomes an instrument of peace that knows itself and love that recognizes itself. 8. The manifester of worlds breathe. Recognize your number. Let it resonate. Essence. To manifest with integrity. These souls transform ideas into works, dreams into structure. If the 3 created the vision and the 4 created the form, the 8 creates the impact. The 8 makes the world shift. The 8 has a superpower nobody else possesses. They mobilize resources. They attract opportunities. They make things happen at scale. Because the 8 was built to manifest, to transform potential into real. While others think, the 8 acts. These people become business leaders, social transformers, legacy builders, because they know how to move energy. When the 8 truly understands their nature, power stops consuming them and becomes blessing. Because the 8 discovers, true authority emerges from integrity. Shadow confusing power with control, believing success justifies any method, seeking dominance instead of genuine leadership. When the 8 get stuck here, they become tyrant. They conquer but without soul. They manifest but without purpose. The Shadow 8 is domination without consciousness. It's when power corrupts essence. Practice, 7 days. Write 1 goal plus 1 why daily. Write the goal. Immediately write why it matters. What's the deep purpose? Why does this goal resonate with you? Because when you connect action to why, when you know not just what, but wherefore, manifestation stops being greed and becomes calling. Action becomes sacred. 9. The wise one who completes breathe. Recognize your number. Let it resonate. Essence. To serve with joy. These souls have lived many lifetimes. They know renunciation's taste and forgiveness is sweetness. If the 8 built empires, the 9 learns not to cling to them. The 9 has a gift that transforms worlds. They see beyond suffering. They offer perspective that makes pain make sense. They can be with someone in their darkest moment and make them feel that everything will be okay. Because the 9 has been through this many times already, these people become spiritual healers, final mentors, wisdom keepers, because they know the whole cycle. When the 9 truly understands that they don't need to save the world, just radiate presence, they become a silent lighthouse, like Thoth, Shadow, trying to save everyone, confusing compassion with martyrdom, believing true service requires sacrifice. When the 9 get stuck here, they burn, because they want to fix what isn't theirs to fix, want to save those who don't want saving. The Shadow 9 is martyrdom disguised as compassion. It's self-harm wrapped in service. Practice, 7 days. 1 anonymous act of service daily. Without speaking, posting, or telling anyone. Just do it. Pay for someone's coffee behind you. Leave money in a lost wallet. Write an anonymous gratitude letter. Help someone nobody's watching. Because true service nourishes the one serving, even in absolute silence. The 8 builds the temple. The 9 consecrates it. The first teaches dominion. The second teaches surrender. Together they reveal the secret of wholeness, to act with purpose and release with trust. Thoth left something carved into the Hermetic Tablets. None of these codes work alone. The 0 dances with the 1, the 4 with the 5, the 8 with the 9. And when you understand how your numbers speak to others' numbers, your partners, your children's, your colleagues, you discover the secret language of relationships. But there's something larger still. Transformation isn't individual. It's collective. When more people honor their vibration, practicing for 7 days with consciousness, the frequency around them shifts. Not in numbers, in how people begin acting, how opportunities appear, how relationships transform. You have a choice now. The next 7 days are critical. You've discovered your number, you know your essence, you know your shadow, you know the practice that activates your code. If this resonated, if you saw yourself in one of these archetypes, there's something you can do. It's not obligation, it's invitation. It's a chance to connect with others, also recognizing their code. Leave a comment with your number, the practice you'll do. And if you want, 1 sentence about how this felt, because when you name your code publicly, when you declare your intention to honor it, you're not just activating your own destiny, you're creating resonance. Every comment is a signal to someone else who needed this exact confirmation. Your comment might be the exact thing that wakes someone up, that makes them realize, wait, that's me, That's exactly what I live. Finally, there's a name for it. Your comment might awaken one person, who awakens 10, who awaken 100, who awaken 1,000, because when more people honor their code simultaneously, the frequency shifts. Exponentially, the code still holds secrets, and they were left for you. Because the universe doesn't forget who you are. It just waits for you to remember. Because the code isn't read, it's lived. So what do you do now?